Members of the Palestine Solidarity Alliance have come together to protest against ongoing Israeli attacks on Gaza. They're waving Palestinian flags and banners with messages of support for the Palestinian people. The protest was sparked by the recent conflict, which began when Palestinian militant group Hamas launched an attack on Israel, killing at least 1,300 people and taking scores of hostages near the Gaza Strip last Saturday. eNCA reporter Heidi Giokos is on the ground and gave us this report. Good afternoon to you, Heidi. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, the world is looking at this protracted militant attacks on Israel. What is currently happening where you are? Good afternoon, Heidi. If you can hear me, I know there's a slight delay, but just if you can give us a sense of what's currently happening with the peaceful march in support of the Palestinian people.
Okay, unfortunately I can't hear you, Cindy, but let's get straight into it. We do understand that there has been a gathering of some sort with many standing in solidarity with Palestine and what's currently happening in that region. We are joined by Nazim Adam. Thank you so much for your time, Nazim. We really do appreciate it. Maybe just speak to us about today's event and the reason for this.
So to be honest, the Palestine Solidarity Walk for Freedom is an annual event, and we had planned it some time ago. It's unfortunate what was unfolded in Palestine in the last few days, and I suppose that has given momentum to the number of people that came here to support the Palestinian cause. Ours is mainly a cause to celebrate the history and culture of the Palestinian people, but also to raise our voices annually in support of the struggle of the Palestinian people. So what we see unfolding in Palestine, in Gaza, is not a sudden thing. It's something that's been going on. We've been doing the walk for 14 years. The Palestinian people are under occupation for the past 75 years. It's an ongoing battle, and it's time for us and for the world and for humanity to come and find a just solution. That is what we are saying. We need to find a moral and ethical solution to this. The vengefulness, the hate, the murder, the killing, the bombing, the children that are dying every day, every minute. Over 600 in Gaza in the last week, 6,000 bombs in the first 3 days. This is unacceptable, and we have to find a solution. And that is our simple message. The world has to find a solution. This has to end. 75 years is too long.
Exactly. I just want to ask you about the realities that people are facing every day. I mean, you played a voice note of somebody who has been displaced, who's had to move from one area to the next with his family. People are really struggling, and I want you to just maybe go a little bit deeper about what you are hearing that is happening on the ground and people not having access to food, water and electricity.
So we got a voice message from a friend of ours, a South African Palestinian, Professor Heidi, a professor in English literature and culture. He and his family were in their home, in their enclave of Gaza, and they got notice that they need to leave. They immediately left. He went to his brother's place, which is in the north of Gaza, because they said it would be safe there. And when he got back, his entire neighborhood was crushed. Every home. He doesn't know how many of his neighbors made it out. But while they were living, about 30 families in one apartment, just trying to survive, they got notice that they need to evacuate North Gaza. 1.1 million people were given notice, leave within 24 hours in a most inhumane way, and forced to, and now they had to get in. I know they found a car. There were 9 members of the family. They got into this car. Haider, his children, his wife, his brother, his nieces, they got into this car and they got to the south of Gaza. They are now waiting for some news to see if they can escape. But when they got to the Rafah border, the Egyptians had put up a concrete barrier. What do you do for a whole week? You haven't had water. You haven't been able to use a proper bathroom. You have no food. All you have is a little bit of data left to send us a message, and they remain steadfast. They remain committed to say that this will not be another Nakba. we will resist.
Just lastly, I'm wondering if you have any message to the South African government. Yesterday we saw the president in his ANC capacity coming out in support and solidarity of Palestine and the people of Palestine. Do you have any message to the South African government about this whole situation?
So, you know, we had a lot of hope for the South African government, post-apartheid and ANC government, who understood and lived under apartheid to do much more. My message is simple, that the South African government has to move and use whatever diplomatic means they have to stop the bombing and the killing immediately. That's the immediate message. We have to find a way to stop this current genocide that is taking place. Secondly, that they need to use whatever means at their disposal, including sending a very strong message of isolating the apartheid state of Israel. This was done to made South Africa a pariah state. That is what eventually forced the Nationalist Party to change its ways and to find a solution. The world and the ANC needs to lead this. The government needs to lead this move for a change to happen in Palestine, and for the people of Palestine to have their little semblance of dignity and human rights, which they are denied in the West Bank, in the ghettos of the West Bank, in the refugee camps. They are under the worst form of apartheid, those Palestinians that live within what is called 48 Israel. They are daily pogroms by Jewish settlers, killing people, burning their cars, attacking their homes. This has been going on. In this year, before the Gaza war, there were 250 killings by the Israeli military and settlers. And we didn't bat an eyelid. It's only when Hamas returned and retaliated that everyone woke up. But what must we wake up to? We must wake up to, as the SA government, our message is simple to you. Break all economic and diplomatic ties with the apartheid state of Israel and move the world to that position until Israel also shifts like apartheid South Africa had to shift.
Okay, thank you so much for your insights and your time. We appreciate it. That is Nazim Adam just speaking to us about why they are here today and they call a message to the South African government. I've lost my connection to you, Cindy, but that's basically the gist of what we have been hearing here this morning.